Hello, Collective. Welcome to a timeless reading of yours. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective general reading, and this is not a one-to-one personal reading that you and I have allotted time for. This reading is on one of the two sister channels that I run, and this one is specifically for Bastet. So the energies are going to be in the honor of however and whatever she wants to deliver in this very moment of this very time in this reading. Whatever brings you here is in true form. In the description box below, you will have access to not only knowing more about who and what I am, but also in various ways on how to book a service of mine if interested. Not various ways, but how to book with me. Remember that feminine and masculine energies that show up within the reading are non-gender specific. They're merely here to tell a story. Femininity encapsulates both feminine and masculine energy. Masculinity also encapsulates both feminine and masculine energies. Okay. In regards to myself, I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that reads these energies for you. As already mentioned, I run two channels, one of Bastet and one of Sekhmet. Access to her sister channel can also be found below. You may be catching yourself in a loophole, which you don't know how to really get out of. At the same time, there's introductory energies within you that are piquing your interest. And that peak of interest, you're gaining anxiety whether or not you should listen. And I suggest you at least listen. Some of you are afraid that listening means you're going to listen out to treacherous memories from the past. And that is exactly why you must listen. You must accept that in this current state and time, you're no longer affected by that trauma of the past. Have to accept some version of reality in this very moment, that moment of the past is not occurring in this very moment. So you are stronger in this very moment. Even if you're bruised physically, emotionally, spiritually, you're beyond the past timeline. You can utilize the strength up to now to go back into the past life trauma of remembrance and pretty much fix any situation that caused the bruising to show up now. But the bruising now is causing you to be chaotic of the mind, to not know if this is something that you have to deal with or if you can keep putting it off. The fact that it's a reoccurring topic, you can no longer put it off. You just can't. You must face it. By facing it, again, is reteaching the former version of you your strength now. 411. Movement is going to be very important. Strap on some music and dance. That's also meditation. You don't have to sit in a pretzel pose. You don't have to chant your Oms to get something, because maybe that will trigger something and suppress something else. And we're not interested in giving you more when we need to release the shit that's within you. Temperance. Release. a good tactic to calm the mind of emotions, to calm the mind of words that seem to overload, is to pick a color and think of it. That's how you stop chaos. That's how you can put a wall up that can put a wedge between something. Think color. It starts in the mind. Healing begins with your relationship to the third eye, because your relationship with your third eye has a relationship with the wellness of your gut, the belly button. The once upon a time, and still very much is, although it might be old news, but true news, is the honesty to your womb. This and here triggers this. This on its own needs the bookends, requires the bookends. And this, my friend, multidimensional. This, guttural. Next to nothing, very close to being one of the largest organs, right? The gut. So this, not as powerful as you might lean in to feel, just because its effect is daunting and visceral and powerful and fucking unapologetic, does not mean that this is the most wisest part of you. This has everybody fucked up versus conditional and unconditional love. Is it real? Is it not? Who's the maker? Who's this? True magic of the third eye teaches you that everything behind closed eyes and closed mouth is the law. Is the law. At least the law of you. That's who you are. Behind the armor. Behind your armor. Behind your skin. That is where you are. Literally, what he is exposing is the most powerful part of you. Do you have the eyes to see? To feel is very much different ways. To feel is to literally feel with your senses, which you have, if you have 50,000 plus sensory triggers on the tongue at least, imagine how your body then reacts to all of that. People not getting out of the way? People not getting out of the way? Emperor, Five of Swords, Page of Wands. Doesn't matter how we see it. Okay. What are we not getting out of the way of? We're not getting out of the way of you figuring out your power. We want to keep you hush hush. We want to keep you subdued. We don't want you to learn that holding other people responsibilities based on how you trigger, become reactionary and all that jazz. No, we don't want to teach you. We want to just teach you how to work. That's it. Work, and be a profit to you, whoever to you is. But you are the slave. You're the one looking up at me, figuring out how to serve me. So this is why I'm not interested to get out of your way. If they won't get out of your lane, then you need to outwit them so that they'll be forced to get out of your lane. like you're figuring it out. Yeah. But this card makes this very confusing, no? Because we're trying to figure out what's this force field. This force field where you think you must sit here and, I don't know, recalibrate, rechange things, when it's actually kind of about changing the inner shit. That's fucking weird. I'm hearing when things start not being able to make sense, is that when you that's when you need to sleep. If you can't sleep, then that means you're more entertained by the energies that want to see your downfall rather than believing in yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And the time in the morning and the time at night is the most powerful moment of the day. Because that's where you are you. Beginning and the end shouldn't be as chaotic as it comes across to be. The maker of life is you. The one that generates keeping things at bay or keeping things close to you, figuring out conditional versus unconditional versus negative versus positive versus right versus left versus up versus down versus all the unilateral decisional pieces that you can make a decision on is your strength. And also maybe perhaps in some senses, because they're lesson driven, your weakness. However, it's in true form to who and what you are, and everything consequential that happens from that moment of decision making is also part for you to experience. However, we're in a timeline, 1313, where keeping secrets internally, wishing on things, and wishing ill upon another is going to be exploited for you, the individual who wished upon internal secrets to make manifest externally, which could teeter into hearing a lot of witches out there who have been doing some shit, doing something one way, doing things another way, healers saying they heal when they're not doing actually anything. They're tapping into old energy and recycling into new versions of that old energy, and that new energy is new for them, but old news for the collective. So that version of a healer is fucked up and taking in your money. Taking your money. You think you're being healed, and it's not really the case. You have to reactivate something instead of regenerating, because despite you having traveled with said maybe healer, you're still lost. And a healer shouldn't leave you lost. A healer should leave you invigorated to regenerate who you are, because all that they did was give you access to more of yourself. So why wouldn't you be able to regenerate? Why do you have to reactivate? That doesn't make any sense. The journey of trust is exactly that. A journey of trust. Honesty filters out trust. Period. Just period. Period. How many people may you know, or you know of someone who says, yeah, the person tells me they love me all the time, but I don't think they like me. If you want an intimate journey, again, that's a journey of who, what, when, where, and why knows the dialogue that occurs you when you don't say a word. That's loyalty. Giving you space to figure it out, giving you space to honor the decision, generating vibrations to help you choose the latter instead of choosing negative or harming others, that you choose the latter. Having visceral hate for someone externally means you have visceral hate within you. So we have, I'm going to put these all aside for a moment. All right. Part of Fortune. They want me to pull a few cards for this energy. So let's talk about it. Part of Fortune. This will cover who, what, when, where, why for just Part of Fortune. All right. One card. Two of Cups. So duality. Duality will be part of your fortune. Knowing how to give and take, knowing when to listen, knowing when to speak up, knowing that there is a navigational point of rights and wrongs, but neither is right or wrong. The symbiosis of feminine and masculine energy, where feminine is also masculine and feminine, where masculinity is also masculine and feminine. The multidimensional forms of what duality brings. Next card is Ceres, Nurture. So we're going to pull a card for that. This will also, just like before, cover the who, what, when, where, and why. Questioning for Ceres, Nurture. You must nurture yourself. Nurture yourself full. Nurture yourself detoxification. If you know better, then do better. Show up if you can. Honor your own sense of compassion and hero. Yeah. The moments where you can be a hero, choose those moments. The moment you can be paternal, maternal, be that. The moment you can be bigger than the situation, become that. Choose the latter. Alright, next card. We have Uranus, Rebellion. So we're going to choose a card for this too. Well, choose? Okay, I'm going to choose. So choosing at will. Queen of Cups. This also covers the who, what, when, where, and why. Personal problem. Gotta make sense of this space. Pandora's box here. Open up Pandora's box. No. I'm not interested to say more than that, because you can. Not even you can, I'm hearing you have, so Oh, interesting. I just started shuffling. This is for this? Yep. Nah. You're still asking a lot of questions. How? And, you know, you've asked so many questions outside this moment. Now it's time to listen. You want to open up Pandora's box? You listen. Alright, the next card is Virgo, clearing. So let's pick a card for that. Picking a card? Okay. Alright. I'm hearing from the bottom of the deck, so okay. That makes sense. So from the bottom of the deck it is. You don't want to show me the root of the situation because you don't maybe want to believe that it's actually rooted within you. Okay, bottom of the deck. You can't escape the vibration of all of the sun. So in literal terms, the sun will help you detox. Okay, that will also covers the who, what, when, where, and why. The last card that flew out from the Oracle deck is the Moon cycle. So we're going to anticipate a card for that. We're anticipating 4. Because here, it's honoring all the elements. Earth, air, wind, and fire. So let's pick 4 cards. No, we're waiting for 4 cards. So for air, what do we have? 7 of Pentacles. Air and 7 of Pentacles. Detoxing using an incense. Not that chemical perfumey shit, okay? Try to acquire a good incense. If you have herbs, you can do that. Make sure you ventilate the room, have airflow. Every room. Alright, next card for water. Water is next. Remember, this is for the moon, alright? So we're more or less doing detoxing for the emotions via the moon because the sun came up, yeah? So the moon here is interesting. Alright, so water. The message for water. Oh God, let go. Water is not life, air is. The Lovers, feminine, masculine energy, masculine, feminine energy, and ticket all between, as already mentioned. Alright. That's why it's complicated. It's not a singular story. It's a multidimensional one. Non-gender specific. Alright, for fire. Show up. Just period. Show up. Alright, read air, water, now earth. Learn to dance with your ego that doesn't know if it's operating of light and or of darkness, so wants to play a game. Go check out my Devil series. It might help you. With that being said, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.